Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. Hope you're all having a great Monday. Let's see. Had a request. Yeah, there it is. All right. So this is going to go out to Eileen. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wine and Daddy. Hold on. There it is. Thank you for the super chat. That was awesome. Really appreciate it. And thank you all for being here. Very chatty group this evening. So continue to chat it up. Hey, Dwight Bailey, now that you're here, it's Dwight's birthday. So say happy birthday to Dwight. Happy birthday, Dwight. Hey everybody, happy Monday. Thanks again for all the wonderful comments and the support and hanging out. So you all know what it's time for when I grab this guitar. Hey, Freedom Redbird. Excuse me. So light up the chat with pink hearts. Let's have it, people. Put the pink hearts in the chat. You all know what it means, so do it. Do it, do it, do it. Go for it. All right, here we go. We got a nice, heavy, fun as hell tune. And I don't know if anybody saw this, but Steve Vai and Joe Satriani did a song with the singer from Deep Purple. Go look it up. It's awesome. Here we go. Let's have some pink hearts, people. Hey, 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 everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you all for being here. What a nice crowd we have again tonight. I appreciate you all coming by every Monday, spending some time here on the channel, hanging out with me, with you, with my awesome spoon, my guitar spoon. Got the silver one tonight. Matched the bling. Got the bling spoon. Thanks to Lori's Mishmash. One of these nights I'll have to have some wine so I can use the goblets that Eileen got me. That was a lot of fun. So let's see who's hanging out. Yes, it is tinkle time. There we go. Little tinkle for Mr. Gary Hubbs on the spoonage here. A guitar spoon. That's right. And Vince seems to be spilling this every week suddenly. I'm a little bit extra with the stirring. Hey, Mood Elevator. Sent by Frank. Well, thank you. Frank is awesome. Frank Terzo, everybody. Frank is awesome. Hey. We have Seven Dust. We have Live to Fly. We have Freedom Redbird Brenda. We have Val. Hello, Val. Hello, of course, Eileen. Hello, Miss Brienne. Hello, Benji. Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you. Hey, I'm here. You're welcome. Well, thank you, Nick. Good to see you. Nick's been a long-time viewer. And we have Rich. Thank you, Rich. And I know we have a lot more, but I haven't gotten there yet. James. Got to check out James, kick-ass drummer, people. He does covers on his channel. And last night I saw a Rihanna tune, I think it was. It was cool. So go check that out. Yeah, let's see. Let's blast through here. We got BMG Kate. Hello. Willie's Desert Hangout. Hello. Yes. He says, hell yeah. All right. We have a bunch of comments before the hour. We're at 411. Let's get that to 500 by the time we hit the hour. Chris was 2 feet away from Wolfgang Van Halen last night. I saw that. That was very cool. And I didn't realize that he was playing there. Otherwise, I would have went. Hello, Shell. How's it going? So Wolf Van Halen played over at Debonair Music Hall, which is where I hold the benefit for Push to Walk in Wendy's name every year. And it probably was a killer show because that place is a medium-sized venue. And to see someone like Wolf there has to be seriously a blessing. Because you're just everywhere you go. There's you can't not see him. So that's awesome. Yes, I'm glad it was the rock version. Haha, that's cool. Nuno played guitar for her. So, yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's see. Let's go back a bit more. We had my friend Anthony in the house. I saw him. There he is. Anthony Rufo. And we have Shell. And we have William Da Silva. And Brandon, sorry. Hello, Brandon. So many people hanging out. So I wanted to say hi, Rhodey's Jam Cave. Now, before I get going again with the playing. But as it is, we're pushing an hour. So you all know what time it is then. You know what time it is now. For the top of the hour, we do a little tune that goes out to my mom and Eileen and a few other folks. I believe Rich. Hello, Rich. More than ready. Awesome. Let's see who else is hanging out. So get ready to hit the rainbows in the chat. Yes, sir. Hello, Tim. Thank you for being here. Come on over to YouTube. Hey, Tone13. What's up? All right. I'm trying to get everybody. Got chat anxiety. I know Eileen says hello to everybody, so, but I like to address as many folks as I can. Yes, happy birthday to Dwight, AMC Kingdom. All right. Thank you for that. Oh, let's see. Oh, boy. Yes, please join the chat over on the old YouTubeage. All right. Again, Eileen, thank you for the super chat, making the chat colorful, which is awesome. And I think with the newest update, or maybe I just didn't notice it before, but it does get colorful on the app that I'm using. So that's cool. Wow, you guys are awesome with the rainbows. So I'm going to get to it here. Look at all the rainbows. That's awesome, people. Thank you so much. Yes, so we're going to do Over the Rainbow for Mom and Eileen and everybody else who digs this tune. Vince, you do well with keeping up with your greetings. I know I try. Thank you. Yes. Grab the less. That's what I'm going to do. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Hopefully I shut the volume off. Oh, good. I hate when I don't shut the volume off and I get that annoying loud buzz. It's terrible. All right. Grabbing a Lou Paolo Les Paul. This thing is a beautiful guitar. There we go. Ah, yes. All right, Mom has popped up some rainbows. Very cool. I can't believe an hour went by already. This show goes so fast. Stream for 3 hours, and in a blink of an eye, it's over. I really appreciate everybody who stops in, says hello. 440 comments, people. Let's get that to 500 by the end of this song. Keep doing up with the rainbows. Tony, hello. Hello. If you're new here, please hit the like. Please subscribe. My favorite time of the night. Awesome. Let's see how we're sounding here. I think we need to tune. Let's get this happening. Yeah, you know, the weather, the dampness, the humidity, and then it dries out, and wood just doesn't know what to do. It's like one day it's one way, the next day it's another. It's like, dear God, somebody help us. Actually, this room is very well humidified, so it's not really that bad down here. Actually, it's pretty dead on. There we go. So I hope everybody's having a fantastic week, or had a fantastic week since I saw you last week. Tony, awesome, man. Thank you so much for subbing. Yeah, so since you're new, I'll explain a little bit about this guitar and the tune. Thank you, Brenda. Awesome. So this is the Lou Paolo signature model. Lou Paolo played with the man Les Paul, and this is Lou Paolo's signature model that Gibson presented to him. They made only 400. I have number 172. Lou signed it, and it's a very special guitar to me because I played with Lou for 10 years, and it was just an outstanding experience, and we became friends, and I miss the dude. Yeah, he was really a great guy. So, yeah. Use an electric tuner. I do. I have this thing. The Snark. It's actually very accurate. All right. Okay. So, for anybody else who's new and maybe lurking, please subscribe. And don't be shy. Say hello. It's a great community here. Everybody's really super and fun and nice and welcoming. So, wait, you're supposed to tune them? Occasionally. It does help every now and again. All right, so let's see. I forgot to hit the volume pedal on. There we go. Thank you. Yes, the Snark. They work well. They do. You using an electronic tuner. They're great. I still have my Boss tuner. It was like a staple in my guitar pedal board. It had to be there. Joseph Tremonti, hello, hello, hello. How's it going? I still don't like that. Hold on, folks. I'm very particular. There's something up. There's something up. Aha. It's the E. The E was a little flat. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So this one, yes. Hello, hello. You know, my mom's here. Mom, say hi. Do you see Joseph is here? Another cousin. I have like 4 cousins that hang out on here now, which is awesome. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Anybody new, please sub. Say hi. Say how you found me. And what else? And chat it up. Put those rainbows in the comments. Here we go. Hey, thank you for hitting all of those rainbows. That is fantastic, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, so I got to play with Lou for 10 years, and I learned so much from him. And like the first few weeks that I played with him, he said to me, "Hey, can you learn over the rainbow?" He goes, "Look up some versions on YouTube that Les played." And there's this one particular one that I found, and it's from Les Paul and Friends, and it really struck me. So I was like, I got to learn this one, and I tried to copy as much of the licks as dead on as possible, but Les had such a rogue style of playing that he's hard to copy. But I learned a lot from it. A lot of chromaticism, a lot of just diminished, beautiful lines. So I'm glad everybody digs it. Thank you so much. Thanks, Mom. That always goes out to you. And Eileen, of course. And yeah, so there you have it. David Clark. David Clark is asking who. I'm not sure if you're talking to me. Who? But if you're talking to me, Lou Pallo was the guitar player for the Les Paul Trio. You know, the dude who built the guitars? Les. So if that was directed to me and you're asking who, Lou is who. Wow, this sounds like it could go on for like 2 hours of who's Lou? Lou? Who? Cindy Lou Who? Where are we going? Oh my God. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Yes, please listen to Benji. He's a smart man. Smash the thumbs up. I know Eileen says that all the time. Please hit the like. Hit the subscribe if you're new. If you're hanging out and you like what you see, please come back. Also, tell a friend or 2 or 10 or 20. And spread the word. This is what I do here every Monday. We drink healthy drinks here, usually, unless it's my birthday, which you can go back and watch the birthday show. It was on April 7th, and it was hilarious. There's a YouTube thumbnail of me wearing a bib, eating lobster. But that didn't happen on the show. Other stuff happened on the show. Very rare occasion that Vince had bourbon on the show, and that Vince ever rarely drinks, but there you have it. It was a fun night. Got a super amazing surprise from Eileen and from Lori's Mishmash. They both were here, like in the studio. So that was really fun. Lou's on first. That's right. That's right. See where I'm going with this? 7 mushroom blend health drink here to keep the blood flowing. Yes, 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 yes. And the wonderful guitar spoon. Yeah, the guitar spoon. Let's see. All right. So this is the part of the night that since I have the Les Paul on, we do some blues. But I'm kind of sick of the track that I've been doing. So let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? Because I need to stall for time for a minute. I'm going to randomly make a backing track with this software that I have. And let's see what happens. We could try it. Yeah. Not GarageBand. Nope, nope, nope. I need Band in a Box. Where are you? Where are you? Alright, let's see. We're going to do some instant backing track. Yeah. So hope everybody's doing great and had an awesome week. I know this week has been pretty darn good. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there who's a mom. I know Eileen is a mom, so happy Mother's Day. And I saw my mom yesterday, so again, happy Mother's Day to Mom. Again. Shell is yelling, blues! Yes! Yes, 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 we're going to do some blues. If I can't make this track in under a minute, then we're gonna get on with the other track. But let's just try this real quick. So applications, Band in a Box. This is one of my favorite programs. I usually sketch out a lot of my tunes with this software. Yeah, let's see. Styles, blues, baby. We want some blues. Band in a Box, blues. Let's see. always come in late, it seems. When do you start? I start at 9, but it's never too late because I play till midnight. So, 9-ish, as long as everything doesn't go kapooey on me. Sometimes I have a lot of issues at the beginning of the night. Yes, but yeah, let's see what we have here in blues. Let's see. Ooh, I like this. This says it's D minor. Let's try it. I have no idea what it is. This is the first time I'm playing to this. And how hard can it be? How long is this? 3 times? Alright. Let's see how it sounds. If it's not a good one, we won't do it. Alright, that was fun. It was definitely more jazzy than anything. But that was a fun one. B.B. King. I don't have any B.B. King backing tracks. You can't go wrong with B.B. No, you cannot. Love the blues. Awesome. Tony says, fire. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was younger than that. Val, thank you all for the wonderful comments and all the fires and the guitars. Thank you, Freedom. Thank you, Brenda. Unshackled. Awesome. All right, so there was a question. And here it is, because I started when I saw it go by. Who are your biggest influences? Well, my biggest influences are all hanging on the wall there. Randy Rhoads was my number one. Randy Rhoads was my number one. And then Edward stepped into my view, and I was like, whoa, this guy's crazy too. So, yeah. So that was that. So Edward was the next one. Randy Rhoads, of course. Hey, Maria. How are you? And then, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, of course. I mean, how can you not like this? I mean, this is just awesome. I don't have the right sound up, I don't think, but let me give you guys the good sound. This was one of the first tunes I learned by Zap. I don't remember it. Moby Dick, yes. Oh my God, such good stuff. Yeah, Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page was huge influence on me. I had a really great neighbor across the street who was incredibly cool, and he had a Sunburst just like Jimmy Page's Les Paul, and we're talking like this was 1980, yeah, something like that. And I was young. And he heard me playing from across the street, and he invited me over. And his parents were friends with my parents and my grandparents. So I had no idea that he even played. As it turns out, he was pretty good and started showing me some of these tunes. And I was just like, oh, my God. So I started learning them. And I wound up actually teaching him. He's like, how do you catch on so quick? And I'm like, I don't know, I just hear it, you know. So, and that's still to this day, that's what it is. I hear something and I can play it. But anyway, how cool was this guy? He let me borrow his Les Paul while he was working during the week. He was like, oh, just take it home and you can play it, and then bring it back on the weekend, because I really don't play during the week. So I got to play this beautiful Les Paul Custom. I have a picture of it somewhere. I got to find it, and I'll show it to you guys. Really, really cool dude. And so I had some really great people to help me out learn, because I would have never gotten into Zeppelin the way I did if it wasn't for him. Yeah. And his name was Remo, like the drums. Or the drum heads, anyway. Yeah, but all of that stuff. Here we too much delay for that, but I don't feel like getting up and changing it. Talk about lazy. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll do another original. I think it's time for some lasers in the chat. What do you guys think? What do you think? I think it's time for some lasers. Let's see here. Let's get back to the featured programming of the evening. Where are you? If you guys want some lasers, throw them up in the chat. Gonna make you work for it. And actually, since I have the guitar on, we'll do one more blues tune, and then I want to see if you guys want to have some lasers. All right, here we go. Gotta love the blues. All right. Let's see. Yes, the hack and sack stories. That's right. Yes, you are. Ah, yes. Sorry to hear that. We will have to meet up again. How's that sound? Let me know what and when and where. Sorry for your loss, by the way. That's terrible. All right, now we're back to guns. Well, lasers. Water pistols. But they're lasers for us. All right, so for those of you who have not been here before, this is an original called WMD. And it has the man Stuart Ham, who plays with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, and a ton of other awesome people. And I've actually played with him. We did some guitar clinics all over Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and Boston for, I think that lasted about 8-10 years. Once a year, we would do a mini tour. A lot of cool stuff. So, yeah. So he played on these next two songs that I'm going to do. I'm going to do WMD first. And Eileen is popping up a live version. And then I'm going to do Funk Me Silly. Yeah. And both of these have the great Stuart Ham on bass. Yeah. All right, so let's get the git fiddle that is needed for this tune, because this has a lot of guitar gymnastics. And we need to turn that off so I don't blow you guys out with the switching of the plug situation. Yes. All right. Okay, here we go. We're going to use the beast, the Ibanez Pia. Oh, this thing plays like no other. It really does play amazing. All right, people, light up the chat for me with lasers. Lasers. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for the fantastic comments in the chat. I appreciate it. Whoo! My goodness. Yeah. Bonfires in the house. What's going on? I'm doing off-road control training all week, so I got to get back in 30 minutes. All right, so then we're going to do something for Bon. We're going to do something for Bon. Let's see. Let's do this one for Bon. Yeah, what a fun tune. Hope everybody's having a good time hanging out here on a Monday. We have a nice crowd still hanging out. And, what? And what? And what? And we have a super chat from Rich. Thank you, Rich. Thank you so much. So we have one from Rich, one from Eileen. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's great. Thank you guys and gals and everyone for hanging out here on the show. Yeah. All right, so let me line up a couple of tunes here. We'll do a slow one for the ladies. They can dance. um, excuse me. Where is it? There it is. All right. I am going to grab another axe and give me 2 seconds to, I need a drink of water. This mushroom drink is not cutting my thirst. It's good, but I'm really thirsty. So let me grab something to drink. We're going to have a little halftime, people. You're welcome. You're welcome, Bonfire. All right. All right, so give me 1 minute. The spoon I'm over stirring here. Making a mess. All right, I'll be right back. Alrighty. Got another guitar. And we're going to do a nice slow one for the ladies to dance. Here you go. Cousin Mark is in the house. Hello, cuz. What's up? Hey, Jerry Gnomes is also in the house. Nope. Gomez. Hi. Sorry I messed up your name. I am so bad. Oh, it's hard to see these comments, even when I put them up on this bigger screen. Because it's really not that large. Oh, well. The screen, that is. Hey, Gary Hubs is in the house. What's up, Gary? Yo, cuz, what's going on? Alright. BMG Kate dancing solo. Alright. Dancing is good. Oh, what's that? Let me look. Oh, yes, it's the cool, yeah. Doesn't show up on here. It's so annoying. Alright. So we have a decent crowd still hanging out. We are at 840 comments. So let's get that to at least 1,000. Alright. DJ Big Red. How's those corrupt files you cannot play because Mark says no? Well, they're fine. Those corrupt files are fine. Let's see. Do I have that software called up? Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, it's here. It is here. Let's see. What are we going to do tonight? So, So we're at, oh my goodness, yeah, we're almost at 2 hours. So we're getting to the top of the second hour, and then we're gonna be going soon. Isn't that crazy? It's the whole show just flies by. Thank you all so much for coming, hanging out, chatting, sharing, and just being completely awesome. Oh yeah, we got some spoon stirring tinkles for Mr. Gary Hubs. Yes, that's what we do here. One of these days, this is going to be a Vince Ginella mug. Sooner than you think. I actually have merch. I haven't decided if I like it or not, but it's up there. So if you buy it and I take it down and do it differently, you'll have limited edition stuff. But you could find it. Where can you find it? Oh, this would be a good job for Eileen to help me out. Where can I find my own merch? It's at Fourth Wall / Vince Ginella, I think. But yeah, there's some cool cups and shirts with the pink Pia, the beautiful pink Pia. And I must say I have to thank Gary Hubs because he's the guy who turned me on to Fourth Wall. Yeah. They're a merch supply situation. All right. See, I knew I can count on Eileen. Yes. YouTube.com /VinceGinella/store. There we go. That's the easiest way to get there. But if you go through Fourth Wall, I don't think YouTube will take a cut. But if you go through the YouTube channel, I think they'll take a cut. But whatever. I'm not making a whole lot of money anyway. But yeah, there's shirts. There's hats. Or did I not do that? Yeah, there's hats. There's mugs. There's a few different types of mugs. There's mugs with my VG logo on it. Like that. There's mugs with the pink Pia and me playing. And one of my Monday Night Live thumbnails made it to the cup and the shirt and the hat. Yeah, so it's cool stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have Gary Hubs. Gary Hubs in the house. Oh, here we go. There it is. Merch. Fourth Wall. There, that's the actual channel site link. Thank you, Gary. My other fantastic moderator. Eileen is fantastic, of course. And she's putting up Gary Hubs live at 11 p.m. Pacific time, which is very late for us here in New Jersey, but I stay up and hang with Gary. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, Gary Hubs, 2 a.m. Eastern. Oof. All right, so let's see. I'm going to do. What am I going to do? I know what I'm going to do. Where is it? This is going to go out to Eileen because she's always hooking me up here on the show, helping out in the chat. There it is. This is an original called Take You There. Yeah. Umpteenth time. Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. All right, here we go. This one's going out to Eileen. Take You There. Thank you for helping every week. We'll do some back-to-back dedications So the harmony in that song goes out to Gary Hubbs. But this entire song will go out to Gary Hubbs. Here we go. Little Lagrange for Gary Hubbs. All right. Thank you, Mark. Cousin Mark in the house. Yeah. Okay. Who else dropped in? If anybody new dropped in. Say hi. All right. That's right. How? Where did that go? There it is. Cool. Okay. Making sure I'm not missing anyone. But anyway, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all stopping by and saying hello. And those who are just stopping by and listening and enjoying the music, thank you too. I appreciate it. Yes, do some shout outs, people. Say hi. We are almost at 1,000 comments. So keep them coming, people. We're at 940, so we're close. All right. What's next? What do I have next? Oh, I don't think I've done this stuff usually this late in the show. I usually open with this stuff. So let's do these. These are fun. All right, here we go. Those are always fun. Ah, yes. All right. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Thank you, Shell, for the super chat. Thank you, Rich, for the super chat. And thank you, Eileen, for the super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We are at 1,008 in the comment count. Yeah. All right. So let's see. That's a fun one to dance to. Yes, it is. Well, from when I'm on stage watching everybody else, it is, but not me. Oh, yes. All right. So how's everybody doing this week? I mean, it's only Monday, but, you know, since last week, I hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, 1,008. There it is, 1,015 at this point. Woohoo! Keep them coming. Ah, yes. Got the spoon, Mark. The guitar spoon. Got the spoon. And for some reason, tonight I am getting my mushroom drink all over the place every time I stir. You gotta fold up the handles. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know what's going on. You guys are having fun. That's all that matters. Alright. So we still have a nice crowd here. So I'm going to play a little more. And I'm suddenly very hungry. So I may cut it short. I don't know. Whew. Yeah. Vince Janella. Yes, I was waiting for the spoon. Yes, the spoon. The spoon has to happen every Monday. Cousin Mark was the first one to see it. He was the first one to notice it many months ago. Nobody else noticed it, but he saw that it was shaped like a guitar. I didn't even say anything about it. I was just stirring, and he was like, "Hey, is that spoon shaped like a guitar?" That's right, because I play guitar, so everything I have in the house is guitar related. All right, let's see. Oh, what to do next? I think we're gonna do a little Van Halen. I'm in a Van Halen kind of mood. Yeah, I think that's what it is. You guys talking about food. Stop it. I'm hungry. All right, let's see. I don't know if I want to do Van Halen. I think I need to go slow here. I think I'm going to slow it down. Ladies can dance again. I'm going to slow it down. Here we go. Here's another one by the oh so awesome, friggin' great guitar player, Santana. All right, we're going to do this. Here we go. Let's see. How much time do I... Oh, yeah, I don't have much time. Even the ceiling fan is guitar shaped, you know. Nice, James. All right, so I have to kind of pre-set up for this one because it comes right in pretty quick. So let me get myself together so I don't miss the beginning like I do so many times. All right, here we go. Hey, Guitar Man 45. Thought I'd stop in and hang out for a bit. Well, please do. Thanks for saying hello when we know you're here. I appreciate it. There's a good amount of peeps on. So please say hi when you come by. And if you like what you're hearing, please share it somewhere with some folks that may want to stop by and hang out. It's a guitar-related night. No singing, unless I play to a track that has singing on it. But I don't sing. I mean, not in front of you guys. That's for sure. But I do sing. I do background vocals, and I can sing pretty well. But I don't feel like I'm a strong lead vocalist. So, yeah. There you have it. Yes, the Groove Brother is in the house. Yes, you guys dance. All right, here we go. A little Santana for you. All right. Glad you're all having a good time dancing it up, hanging out, chatting. All right. So there's this whole thing going on YouTube about people not playing for real and not playing to their level. You're welcome, Eileen. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But yeah, there's this whole thing going on the YouTubes with these creators doing all this crazy guitar and bass stuff, and they're not playing it like they're playing it slowed down, and then they speed it up, so it looks like they're actually playing this incredible thing, and they're not. And I think I'm going to do a video about it because I was working on a tune by Van Halen, and this is about 2 years ago, and I recorded myself doing it as I got better. And I kind of was like, I'm not going to do this one live, but it's just like a challenge for me. So I was like, all right, let me mess with it. And one of the last recordings I did, I was like this close to full speed, and I gave up. I don't think I actually gave up. I just kind of got bored and didn't bother going that next. So I was like, all right, yeah, Mark, this is exactly who I'm talking about. I don't even want to say the guy's name because I don't want people going over and looking him up because he'll just make more money. He's a jerk. It's not cool. So what I want to do with the Van Halen video, I know, right? Because he was talented or seemed talented, and yeah. But anyway, oh, you put it up there. Anyway, unfortunately, there's many guitar players who have done this in the past and are still doing it. Yes, I'm not going to put his name up. I'm not even going to say it because it's not cool that people go over there and he makes money. I think his YouTube channel got shut down, but he's still on the Instas. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do is, in spirit of all of these guitar players playing stuff that they can't play, I'm going to play it. And then in the middle, of the first half of the video, I'm going to actually say, I'm not playing this actually to full speed. I sped it up. You could tell sometimes by the way I'm moving, especially my facial expressions, they look sped up. So I think in those parts, I'm going to zoom in on my hand so people can't see it. And then halfway through, I'm going to admit I didn't play this up to speed. That I'm faking it. He's such an adorable little boy. Yeah, I guess he is, I mean, I'm sure he's got a lot of chicks after him. Maybe not so much anymore. But if he was a smart little boy, he would have banked all his money that he made from ripping everybody off. But anyway, no backpedaling allowed. Oh, yes. The bassist was, yes, yeah. Hopefully that guy wasn't faking it too. I mean, geez, it sucks, but that's what happens. I can call him little boy only because I'm old enough to be his mother. No, he's just a douche waffle for being dishonest. I love that word, douche waffle. Maybe I'll have some waffles after the show. That's a good safety. Waffles with peanut butter and Nutella. I have organic peanut butter, and I actually have healthy organic Nutella. It's actually all natural, so there's no crap in it. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that. And post up, yes, the waffles. You need some form of thing that represents douche, so we can put up douche waffle. Oh my god! But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play this Van Halen tune. It's called "I'm the One." I can't even fake it right now because it's one of those tunes that if you don't do it all the time, it's really a tough song. Van Halen has this thing that I like to call the Van Halen bounce or the Van Halen swing because he's just, whether you know it or not, Edward was brought up in a jazzish kind of household. His dad was a jazz pianist and whatchamacallit, clarinet. So he's got this swing that is unmatched. This right hand swing, ridiculous. So I might be doing that, and then right in the middle of the video, I'm just gonna post a big thing that I sped this up, just to admit it. But anyway, yes, that works. That's our douche waffle sign. Butter and maple syrup. Yeah, see, the syrup part is the bad part. Aren't peanut butter and Nutella the same thing? Or close, anyway. Well, no, because peanut butter is made from peanuts and Nutella is made from, whatchamacallit, hazelnuts. So it's different. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And it couldn't be a show without that word showing up. The M word. Thank you, Gary. We'll get you some spoons going on for that. Oh, yes. Cheers, people. Yes, Eileen. It's a hazelnut spread. It's so good. Yeah, so I'll probably do that tonight. Have a little something like that. And that's the universal symbol for moist. And then we have the new universal symbol for douche waffle right there. Oh, I love it. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, there are a lot of guitar players that fake their parts or mime them. You know, they record it first and then they play to it. And I don't do that ever. Even on that collaboration with Lori's Mishmash, I played everything and gave her the video with the audio as one file. Like it was a video file. And it was the part that I played. So if you go look at the Hold the Line video that I did with Gary Hubbs on bass, Lori Mishmash on keyboards, Frank Turzo on vocals. I never remember the young lady who sang with the great voice. But I think her name was Amy. But I played that live, and everything that went down was one take, no overdubs. That's the way I roll when I do stuff. I don't like to fake it and then, you know, fake like I'm playing in the video. Excuse me. Yeah. Waffles and butter. Now you guys are really getting me hungry. I know one, Hazel. She don't have nuts. That's good. Oh my god. Nutella is chocolate icing. Change my mind. Yeah, I mean it could be like chocolate icing. It's very chocolatey and wonderful. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I forgot who played drums. Is that covers by CQ? I don't remember. I'm so terrible. But yeah, go check out that video that I did with Lori's Mishmash. Just type in Toto, Hold the Line with Lori's Mishmash. Everything is better with bacon. I mean butter. Well, yeah, I do like an occasional bacon. All right, so let's see. I'm going to play some more. Ooh, I think I'll do that now. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe I'll do the other one. G. 100% I fake mine. I never actually hit a drum. Oh, man. That's great. All right, let's see here. I'm going to do this one. This is an original called Zero Gravity. I haven't played this in a while. I don't think I did it last week or the week before. If I did, I don't remember. So there. At least I don't think I did it. All right. Hey, you're all still here. And some new people came back in. Let's see. Once I get a real stereo system back in this house instead of a $20 Bluetooth speaker for house audio, I can get a new EW guitar and then maybe return to making my music. That's cool. When I can listen to it. Yes. And hear it properly without headphones. Yeah, it's hard to mix with headphones. I hate mixing with headphones. I only do that like if I travel. And these days I have not been traveling anywhere. Especially now with our weirdness with the flights. But, yeah. That's usually when I use headphones, is on the plane. Trying to mix stuff. Alright. It was going out of business, so I had to take what I could get. Oh. I guess I missed something. Alright, anyway. Alrighty. We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes. We have 1,173 comments. Oh, you guys and gals are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out and being here with me every week. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate the super chats. We had one from Eileen. Request for moonflower in honor of full moon. Yeah. And that was fun. And then we had one from Rich for Over the Rainbow. Glad you enjoyed it. And Shell, thank you. And I bet you that was for the Peter Gunn. She likes that one. Yeah. Let's see. Vince, I agree. If I can't drive there, I don't go. Yeah, I'm kind of getting to that point. Unless it's like something super important, like if I go visit Lori, I'm not going to fly to Boston. It's 5 hours. I'll drive. Spend 5 friggin' hours in the airport with delays. Like, why bother? Could walk there faster. So, that's kind of the deal at this point. Unless I have to go overseas for something, which I don't see anything right now happening. I really wanted to go to Australia and do some playing over there, since I do have some folks from over there that tune in on Mondays. And I know my buddy Larry Mitchell goes there. And I have a couple of Fractal people that are beta testers and fellow musicians over there. So I figured I'd be able to do like a gig with some other people. And that would be really cool. But I think I'm going to wait till things calm down a bit. Yeah. Anyway. Yes, Eileen. People, chat it up. Chat it up. We're at 1,180. And we're getting towards the end of the evening. So that means it's sleepwalk time. And it's waffle time. That's right, Val. It's waffle time. Not douche waffle time. But regular waffle time. Yeah. I could use heat lamps in the lot in the winter. Yes. Or an incubator. We got to figure out something for you, man, because I feel for you playing outside. I hate outdoor gigs. I used to do outdoor gigs. It didn't matter. We would play in friggin' 0 temperature at ski resorts outside, right down where they would come down and stuff, and in the opening where the people bring the food and the drinks out. Not anymore. I will not do outdoor gigs like that. Or extreme heat. I actually got heat stroke once, which was crazy. Thought I was having an actual stroke. But I was dehydrated, and the stage was in direct sunlight, and they didn't plan it very well. And I was playing with every band. It was at a street fair with one of the schools where I teach. And, yeah, it was pretty brutal. This hand, I couldn't move it. It got all clawed up like this. And then my friend was there, and I asked her how I sounded while I was talking, and I had my hand down. I didn't want her to see it and freak out. And I said, how do I sound? She's like, you sound fine. I said, are you sure? I'm not slurring or anything? She's like, why? What's going on? And I said, look at this. That was it. They called the 911. The folks came over. Oh, my God. So yeah, that was fun. Um, I had to have a gallon, literally a gallon of Gatorade before I went back on stage. And they brought me into an air conditioned store with the air on like -2 Celsius or Fahrenheit. So I was freezing in 2 minutes. It was great. Hey, Suzanne, good to see you. Going to bed. See you soon. Yes, we will be rehearsing for our gig. Hopefully Sunday. Yeah. Hey, Miss Stephanie, heat stroke is no fun. Yeah, and I'm sure you have to deal with that considering you're in Australia and it's really hot there. Yeah, dude, it did suck. It was terrible. Oh my god. So anyway, now I make sure I hydrate like crazy if I do an outdoor gig. And I also am very particular on where they set up the stage. Like I go the day before and literally figure out where the sun's going to be while we're on stage, and we set it up so that we have shade. This is stuff that people don't think of while they're in the crowd enjoying it, but yeah, it's dangerous. All right. Your box was hot. That's right. You need to cool it down with some surfing. Yeah, dude, you need some air in that room. All right. So let's see. Miss Stephanie is here. We have, let's see, let's go through the roll call of who's hanging for the last bits of the show. Looks like we have Brenda. We have Cousin Mark. We have Rich. I believe Ray might have left, but he's possibly here still. Of course, we have Eileen, and we have James in the house, and we have Gary Hubbs. We got to get you some kind of heat source. Yeah, and Val. Hello, Val. And Suzanne's going, but I'm glad you said hello. And yeah, I think we're all, everybody who's chatting at least is here. There's more than that here, but y'all aren't chatting, and that's okay. I get it. There are shows that I go and I watch and I just enjoy, and I don't say anything. Yeah. Just like a crowded show on a summer's night in an Australian venue, it's brutal. I can imagine. There's some pretty bad times here in New Jersey that I've gone to. Like Asbury Park has this big festival that's coming up, and I really wanted to go, but it's just too crazy with the weather here in Jersey. The humidity is through the roof, and then it's like 90 degrees or hotter with like 80% humidity. You walk outside and you're just soaked. It's like, well, what am I even doing here? It's terrible. It's not enjoyable. Anyway, that's just me. Maybe people like their clothes soaking wet and stuck to them. I don't know. All right, so what time is it? It's 2 hours and 53 minutes in. That's it. Thank you, Val. Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right. Let's see here. Let's type in one of these tunes that we're going to finish with. Sleepwalk, of course, goes out to Eileen. Let's see. Oh, you're funny, man. Okay. Now everybody's putting panties up in the chat. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. What's the time here? All right. That's 6 minutes. That's about right. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. All right. Well, my only drum account. Oh, that's hilarious, man. You guys are funny. All right, this is going out to Eileen, my fantastic moderator, and and she's here every week, all the time. So is Gary Hubbs, every week, all the time. Jeff used to be here every week, all the time, but he's kind of taking a YouTube break, and that would be the Metalhead Hippie. He's a great dude. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met half of these people. He was a big advocate and sharer of independent music, and that's how and where we all met, was on the Metalhead Hippie Show. Yes. I have a song about panties. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we will carry this conversation on for another time. Yes, it's bedtime. It's actually time for waffles. All right, people, here we go. Hey, Barry's in the house. What's up? All right, well, I'm actually just ending here, but thank you for saying hi. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Ah, yes. Oh, that was hilarious. That was really fun. I gotta cut that and use that on my YouTube channel. Just that video of Eileen and Lori here snapping their fingers behind me while I'm playing. Talk about distracting. Oh, you girls were fun. We had a lot of fun. Oh yes. Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome, Richie. Hey, Kevin. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. All right, everybody. Great show again. Vincenella, thanks. Well, thank you for hanging out, Tone 13. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody hanging out. DJ Big Red. And, of course, everyone else. Vince, you're the goat turquoise white horns. Let's go look over here. Nice. Thank you. I am the goat. Well, I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And I appreciate everybody for hanging out every week. I appreciate the super chats and the PayPals when they come in. So thank you. I even get the super thanks, which is a really cool new feature, where if you miss the show and you show up whenever, or even like any of my other videos, you could send a super thanks, just like a super chat. It's really cool. So some of that's been happening too, which is awesome. Gratitude for everyone making Monday nights awesome here. Yes, thank you, Vince. And thank you, Eileen. And thank you, Shell. And thank you, Gary Hubs. Yes. Yeah, man. You know, Gary, I was watching some old videos because I was looking for something, and it was when Wendy was doing the show as the moderator, and you were there, man. You were there from like maybe, I don't know, must have been 2020 when I met Hippie, of course, because that's the only way I would imagine you'd find me. So Gary's been here for 5 years. Friggin' awesome. And Eileen as well. Yeah, she's been around since 21, I think we figured out. So that's really cool. Whew, boy, I'm tired. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. The merch is up. Check it out. It's fun. It's the pink Pia and my VG logo on a mug. There's three different mugs, I think. And they come in different sizes, which the other people, we won't mention them, only had one size. 12 ounces. Who here drinks a 12-ounce cup of anything? Raise your hand. And who here drinks a 15 cup of anything? So if you're a 12-ounce cup of coffee person, put a 1. If you're a 15-ounce cup of coffee, put a 2. I'm a 2. Wow, can I do that? I think I can. Let's try it. I'm a 2. Bang. Hey, yeah, there we are. Size matters. That's what she said. Oh, that's great. And that's what she said. Get out. I grabbed a hat tonight. Oh, dude, that's so cool, Tone 13. I appreciate it. Chicks dig the big mug. That's awesome. 24 ounces of coffee there? Wow. Well, you just do 2 cups of 15 and you got yourself 30. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, everybody's all about the 15 ouncer. So yeah, the cups are cool. They look good. I bought some of Gary's merch, and it was really great quality. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. So I signed up and I got some things up there. So it'll be fun. And we'll make some more stuff as time goes. But I wanted to get a couple of things. 3:20s before 7. Damn, you're up early. Whew. All right, with that, I should let you all go to bed, because if you're getting up at 7, that's like in 7 hours. Whew. Or 6 hours and 50 minutes at this point. So cheers, everybody. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being here. And I will catch you all next week. Be well. And I will talk to you all next Monday. Thanks again. Take care.